Hi, my name is Daeho Hong. I'm the product manager at nTop. I am here to speak about our new initiative and partnership project with EOS on implicit interoperability. Today's problem is that we are still using the same file formats that were originally developed for subtractive manufacturing, so mesh file formats and boundary representation file formats. Those were suitable for subtractive manufacturing when they were initially developed. Those technologies were the targeted technologies for storing design data for those file formats. But nowadays we have additive manufacturing, and now the number of features that we need to take care of in those file formats are at least 500 times, 1,000 times more. Therefore, we see that the file formats that we use that were developed in the past are very big in file size and they're inefficient. So our customers who are trying to use additive manufacturing technology and they would like to hold very delicate features in their designs and their part size is still industry scale, it's large. They see that huge inefficiencies and lack of scalability when they try to transfer the design from advanced design tools to additive manufacturing machines. So that's the problem that we were trying to solve.
So the problem for our customers is usually that with new design approaches such as generative design or topology optimization, the complexity of their part geometries is really increasing over and over again. This is especially a problem if the geometry needs to be meshed. So once the meshing takes a lot of time, and if the slicing of the mesh takes a lot of time, then this is time that they cannot use for iterating on their designs. So that's a real problem. But sometimes mesh complexity also becomes a complete showstopper because resources such as RAM or CPU power or graphics card power are just not enough to do the work. And then you can't build the geometry. So it's a real problem.
The collaboration with nTopology was very open. Well, it started while we were looking into implicit modeling for ourselves, and we tried to find a way to describe a file format. And when we saw a blog entry from nTopology about the CodeWeb file format, and that was exactly what we are looking for, so we reached out to them, and with that we started a very fruitful collaboration used for defining a standard that will be beneficial for the whole industry.
The impact, I believe, is going to be that customers and users of design software will generally have to care less about the complexity of their designs. They will have to be less afraid that their part becomes unbuildable because of the meshing process.
First of all, it's a great idea to integrate nTopology functionalities and what EOSPrint can do on the CAM side or on the printer side. Now, we always had problems with very large files. Slicing them is painful, adding the right parameters is painful. All of this has limited us basically in what we were able to do. Sometimes the design would get so complex that we couldn't execute the print, right? So the workflow was difficult. All kinds of hurdles in between have kept us from being super creative. Now with this integration, we can be fully creative and we're not limited by basically the roadblocks in between different softwares. So this is really cool. EOSPrint is something we obviously use as Siemens Energy and nTopology we're a big fan as well. So I think the entire setup makes a lot of sense. We see a lot of potential to accelerate the workflow, and we see a lot of potential also to be even more creative than we already are. So we have some cool ideas that we now integrate that we haven't been able to integrate before.
So the next steps will be for us that we drive the standardization of the implicit geometry representation. We're really looking forward to integrate this into the 3MF standard. And of course, implement it in EOSPrint in our design software and talk to partners to integrate this as well, so it becomes widely available. And until the standard is in place, we will continue to work on our implicit interop with nTopology.